Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today we'll continue our mini-series on Firebase, and in this video we'll see how you can set up a configuration to be able to sign in with Apple on Android. So let's get into it. Before watching this video, please make sure to watch the previous one on Apple sign in, because in the previous video I show you how you can set up your developer account to be able to sign in with Apple, and we will use this on the Android port. So please watch the previous video, or at least the setup. So before dive into anything, I want to explain to you how this thing works on Android, because it's kind of different than on Apple and also Google sign-in. So let me show you the diagram I made. So basically the first thing the user needs to do, so basically click on the sign in button we create on Unity, and there it is, something new already happened. So we need to create like a URL to be able to let the user use his username and password to log with Apple. So we need to create this URL to be able to communicate with Apple. So after you be able to log with this username and password, Apple will send a post request to redirect the URL. Basically, because Apple sent a post request, we need to rewrite this URL, and with this rewrite URL, we use a function exchange. So basically, we'll code two functions in the Firebase function, and what we do, we just handle basically this request on Apple, and after, because it's very tricky, and this is why I was telling you on the video before, we need to exchange the post Apple sent us. We need to change this code to a token, and this is why we create another function to be able to exchange this code Apple give us for a token. And when we got this token, we will use Unity DeepLink to be able to redirect the data we got, because we exchange the code to a token. We need to say, hey, I got some data, we need to give this data to Unity, and this is why we need to use DeepLink, and this is a way I use to communicate with Unity to be able to send the data between these two. And after, when we got the DeepLink, Unity will receive this DeepLink, and with that, we can use some send message to invoke the callback, and basically, with that, we can sign in completely with Apple. The most difficult part is this one, this kind of thing with the DeepLink, the exchange code, the token, and the exchange code, and also when Apple send the request. But the end, basically the same as Google sign-in. If we remove this part is the same as the Google sign-in and the Apple sign-in on iOS. But this part is very important. This part here, it's very important, and take me a long time to understand how this works. So now what we want to do, we need to go back to Firebase, to our Firebase account. So in our Firebase account, what we want to see, so let's go on a build, and we want to add function. So here, function, and when you will click on it, you will ask you to upgrade your project. Unfortunately, you need to upgrade your project. Don't worry, it's free. It's a pay-as-you-go plan, but you got some free credit until you will exceed this credit. But if you make a small project, like we do now, you don't need to pay anything. So let's click on upgrade project, and you will need to choose pay-as-you-go base plan. So if we see the full detail plan, so as you can see, we got no cost. So this is what we're interested of, so the cloud function, and as you can see, we got no cost, up to 2 million per month, up to 40k per month, to 200k per month, etc, etc. So for a small project like our, we don't need to pay anything. So we need to change it to be able to use the cloud function. So I need to create a cloud billing account. So very quickly I will create it. So as you can see, I finished billing my account. To be sure to be not exceed by anything, I put the budget amount of €1, symbolic euro. You will need to put your credit card on it. And as you can see, we got the pay-as-you-go Blaze Pen, so link cloud billing account. So this is what I will do. And as you can see, we got the pay-as-you-go plan. So we can click done. So what we want to do, we will head back to our terminal. So let's go on terminal. What we want to do, we need to install the CLI of Firebase. So to do that, we need to type some command. So this is a command we will need to use to install a Firebase tool. So I will not run it because I already have it. Also, make sure to have this installed on your machine. So this is Node.js. So this will allow us to run the npm command on your machine. So after installing Firebase, what we need to do, so we need to use another command. So let's type it Firebase, and what we want to do, we want to log in. And as you can see, we need to select our account. So I will select mine. So we will hit continue, authorize. So as you can see, we got the Firebase CLI login successful. So let's head back to our console. And as you can see, I was able to log in on Firebase. Okay, so now next thing we need to do, we need to navigate to a folder. And in this folder, we will create our web application. So I recommend you to create this folder on the root of your Unity project. So as you can see here, I got my project of Unity. So now let's create a new folder, and let's call this one Firebase. So Firebase Apple Redirect. Let's enter, and what we want to do, I was able to navigate to my folder, and what I want to do, I want to execute this function. So basically this one, Firebase init function. So let's enter. Please select an option. So we want to select one project we already create on Firebase. So let's use an existing project, and as you can see, we can see Unity Firebase toolkit here. So let's select this one. This will compile everything. Also, make sure to have this. So this is the path. Let me just here. This is the path. The function will initialize everything. So basically, the path we choose. So in my case, this one. Okay. And he asks us what language you want to use. We will use JavaScript. Do you want to use S-Link catch bug? Say no, because I got so many issues with that. So I say no. Do you want to install dependency? Yes, you will need to install dependency. Okay, so now let's see what is in Firebase Apple Redirect. So as you can see, we got function, we got something over there, and we got Firebase JSON. So now let's head back to Unity. I got Firebase hosting file sample. As you can see, we got the JSON, we got the function, and we got the public. So let's reveal this in Finder. So what you want to do, so we can erase the Firebase JSON here on the Firebase Apple Direct, and I just see I forget a E on base. I'm very bad at orthograph. Anyway, so let's remove this. Let's copy our JSON file and paste it over there. Replace it. In function folder on the sample I give you, we got the index.js. So let's open function. Let's put this in trash. Let's copy this. So let's copy it, paste it. Okay. And you need also a public directory. So let's copy the public directory and let's paste it over there. Very easy. I did everything for you. You just need to copy paste it. Now let's head back to the terminal. What we want to do now, we just want to deploy everything. For doing that, what command we need to type? We just need to type Firebase deploy. Make sure to be in the good directory. So my directory, Firebase Apple Redirect. So let's click on enter, Firebase deploy. As you can see, he asks us how many days you want to keep container image before they delete. So basically, what is a container image, you will ask me. So container image is just a package to contain everything needed to run the application. code library and setting. I will just put 7. So also, I want to point it out, like we got some warning, don't worry about that. It's just something we didn't active in Firebase, but this will activate automatically. It's a part of the cloud function I show you with the Blaze plan, because we will need that. And if we head back to Firebase now, as you can see, we got our 2 functions, so handle Apple redirect and exchange Apple code. And also, to be able to use this, let's go on build, let's go on hosting. As you can see, he was able to create our website. So this one, Unity Firebase Toolkit.web app. So basically, if I copy paste this, so like this, so copy it and open it. Welcome to your Firebase project. So basically, it's this folder, this one. Remember, we create a function, we create an index, and in this index, so sorry, not index, but public index, this one, let's open it in Visual Studio Code. And as you can see, we got our HTML here. Welcome to my first Firebase project, my Firebase project. So my Firebase project, welcome to my Firebase project. Okay, so I just clear the console. We need to redeploy again something else, because in the sample I give you, so we can close this basically. Let's go on our folder, we create function, so on public, so let's go back, and in function, let's be interest of index. So let's open this in Visual Studio Code. Okay, and as you can see, I pre-code something for you. You will just need to replace this variable. So your team ID, your client ID, the key ID, private key, the deep link, of course, and the redirect URI. So before filling everything up, just see quickly the function we create. So the exchange Apple code. Remember in the diagram I told you about this. When we will receive some code, we'll exchange it for the token. This is how this thing happened. And also we got the other one, handle app redirect. So basically we're able to redirect the app with the deep link. Again, I'm not an expert in JavaScript. I'm better in JavaScript than in Swift, I can tell you that. And let's fill this constants. You will need to fill it to be able to work. So what is your team ID Apple? So very easy. So let's go on our Apple developer account. So your team ID will be this. You can find it here. Copy mine here. Okay, you will need your client ID. So your client ID, remember, so let's head back to Safari. For find it, let's go on identifier here. Let's select not app ID, but service ID. So as you can see, we got the Unity Firebase Toolkit sign in with Apple. And what we want to do, we want to click on this and copy the identifier. So this one, so let's copy it. Let's go back to Visual Studio Code. Let's paste it. Also, you will need your key ID. So to find your key ID, again, let's go back to your developer account. Let's go on all identifier. Let's go on key. And as you can see, we can click on this. So this one, so the Unity Firebase Toolkit, this one, so your current project. And we got the key over there. So the key ID is over there. So let's copy it, paste it over there. Remember the PGP I told you, the private key, I told you to not lose it. So I will copy paste my PGP here. So now the redirect URI. So for the redirect URI, what we need to do, so let's go back to our Firebase account. Let's go on hosting, as I told you, and let's copy paste this. So this one, Unity Firebase Toolkit web app. So let's copy it. Let's paste it in Visual Studio Code. Okay. Let's go back to our folder. We create the function. So this one here in function, and let's open the Firebase JSON. So open in Visual Studio Code. And as you can see on the JSON, I create this URI, so the redirect.html. So we will use this one. It doesn't matter if it's not exist or not. We will rewrite it. So as you can see, we will rewrite it, the source, the redirect.html by this function handle Apple redirect. But we will need to use that to be able to do the redirection, because Apple, when you will try to log it, they ask for an option redirect URI. So this is why I create like a fake one to be able to handle this problem. So let's copy this. Let's paste it over there. Make sure to not have a double slash. And last thing we need to add, so the Unity deep link. So basically the Unity deep link, it's right like this. So Unity DLL 2.// and basically your bundle identifier. So for my case, it will be like this. So basically Unity DL .// com lprofessorkudo.unity.firebase toolkit. So the bundle identifier is, if I go back to Unity, is the identifier you will see over there. This is very important because it will allow us to be able to go back using the deep link to go back to our application. Okay, everything is set up. We can save this, close Visual Studio Code. We don't need to use index anymore. Let's open our terminal. Also, I want also to point it out, if you're not happy to hard-coded your value inside the index.js, you can always use a functionality of Firebase like this. So let me show you one of the functions you can use for Firebase, this. So this is what you will need to save your environment data on Firebase and not hard-coded in index.js. So basically, Firebase use function secret.set and Apple client ID with the value of your client, the value of the key ID, and the value of the PGP, and also value of the team ID. You can store it in Google, and like that, you will not have hard-coded version in the index.js. Like that, when you will push in GitHub or in GitLab, you will not see the sensitive value. Okay? And let's deploy everything. So Firebase deploy, and let's click enter. Okay, now we got the deploy complete, and as you can see, we got the hosting URL, so toolkit web app. So now if you try to go on the redirect URL, you will see, so plus redirect URL. As you can see, method not allowed because we do a rewrite. Don't forget about it. This is why it's writing method not allowed. Okay, so now we need to do one more thing. Let's close this. Let's go to our Apple developer account. Let's go to identifier. Let's choose service ID as I do. And let's select our project. In my case, Unity Firebase Toolkit sign in with Apple. Let's click on this. And as you can see, we got the sign in with Apple. We need a configuration to do that. So let's configure it. And we want to add a new website URL. So let's add one. And what we want, we need domain and subdomain. So for the return URL, basically the return URL will be the one we try to do, so the redirect. And the subdomain we will use, so only this, like that, like this. Also, make sure to choose the correct primary Apple ID. So for my part, this one. Don't choose it wrong. And let's click on next. So again, make sure to use redirect. If you change the name of redirect, you can do it, but you will need to add a new one here. So let's click on next. And let's click on done. We can continue. And we can save everything. And now if I click on my identifier, so the Unity Firebase Toolkit, we go on configure, and as you can see here, we got a new website. So the redirect part for the return URL, and also the firebaseapp.com. So basically the domain and subdomain. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Sum up, subscribe, and comment if you like this content and if you find something interesting for you. Do not hesitate to buy me coffee if you like it, to support me, because it takes me a long time to do this tutorial and it will be very appreciated if you can. It's not a must do, but it will be very appreciated. And in the next episode, we will terminate this Apple sign-in on Android with a look at the AAR and how this thing works, but we will see that on the next video. Thank you for watching, and I catch you guys next time. Bye bye.